So you want to make money in crypto? Now is when you do that. When you see these red bubbles this week, top altcoins down 35%, this is when you got to be laser focused and pick which altcoins you think are going to be the winners over the next 6 months to a year. So whether you are allocating some of the altcoins you don't believe anymore, or if you're one of those smart people who had some dry powder on the sidelines ready to gobble up this dip, today I'm going to be making an argument for what category of altcoin you should be looking at and which altcoins in that category I like the best. I'm Milton, and this is another CryptoWise video. So before I get into the alpha, guys, do old Milty a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, follow me over on X. My handle there is at CryptoWise, guys. If you follow me there, right now I am doing a giveaway, a VIP whitelist giveaway for the upcoming We Are the Walrus NFT mint on the SWE network. Look at these sexy MFers. You're definitely going to want to mint one of these NFTs on SWE. Lots of exciting things that we have in store for the collection. It is going to be tied to the Walrus Protocol, one of the biggest projects coming out in crypto in 2025. All right, guys, let's talk altcoins. So the majority of today's video is going to be about which altcoins I would be buying right now and explaining to you why. But before I do that, let's talk about a brand new chain that is out there. You know, on CryptoWise, I want to be covering the whole market. So when big news like this launches, I got to talk about it. We're talking Berachain. Okay, so this is a brand new layer 1 EVM compatible blockchain. For you new crypto people out there, what does EVM mean? It means Ethereum Virtual Machine, which means essentially Berachain is, at least they would have you believe, a new improved version of Ethereum. They just launched their mainnet, and with that, the token launch also happened. And their token here is the Bera token. At least that's one of their tokens, and I'll explain that in a second. But anytime you have a new token hit the market that has a market cap of almost $1 billion with a fully diluted market cap of 4.5 billion, well, it's worth mentioning. It launched, it's already a top 100 coin. And in this market, when there are already thousands of coins out there, certainly when something can crack the 100 on its launch, you got to pay attention. So this is the website here of Berachain. It's definitely a fun website. I like this, up only. And so you scroll up instead of the regular scrolling down. As I said, they're an EVM identical layer 1. But instead of proof of stake, they are proof of liquidity. So they've kind of invented this new saying, proof of liquidity instead of proof of stake. And I'll explain a bit of what that means. But definitely, look, I got to give them props for their website. Very cool. And the branding and stuff, very, very cool. Look, this has been a huge project for airdrop hunters. People have been hunting this airdrop for a very long time. So it's finally here. It is one of the biggest airdrops in the history of crypto. I did actually play around with the testnet chain. For whatever reason, I wasn't eligible for any tokens. I didn't think I'd be eligible for that many, but I thought maybe a couple. But look, there are big names in crypto attached to this project. So let's go into what makes Berachain a bit different than any other layer 1s. And then I'll give you my opinion on it. So Berachain, it's a layer 1 blockchain. It distinguishes itself from other EVM chains, especially Ethereum, through its proof of liquidity consensus mechanism. So unlike Ethereum, which is proof of stake, this is proof of liquidity. So it allows users to stake assets while simultaneously utilizing them in DeFi protocols. I'm going to be honest. Look, I'm sure these guys know more than I do, but I don't understand how this is different than liquid staking that we have now. So in today's world, whether it be Solana or Ethereum, you can stake those assets and get liquid stake tokens back. So I'm not quite sure how that makes it any different from that. They also are claiming they're unique because they're a tri-token model. So instead of just having that one token for gas, they have that token, which is the Bera token. They also have a separate governance token, which is the BGT token. And they have their own stable coin, which is the Honey token. So they're saying that by separating these functions, it prevents staked assets from influencing gas fees, potentially causing increased transaction costs. Again, I'm sure these guys know more than me. Perhaps they're right about that. But there's certainly layer 2s out there that have low gas fees. And there's also Solana and SWE that have very low gas fees. So not sure that is a problem that needs to be solved anymore. They say that they are EVM identical, which gives them full compatibility with the Ethereum virtual machine, so that developers who are used to working on Ethereum or any of the other layer twos can easily work on Berachain. So basically they can deploy on Berachain without having to recode stuff. So you'll probably see a lot of Ethereum dApps move over to Berachain as they are on all the other layer twos. They also have native DeFi applications like BearSwap and Bend, which is their lending protocol, which is essentially Aave. Again, I don't know why this is really that big of a deal. So many EVM compatible chains out there. They're all competing with the other layer one chains. So my bottom line here is, look, if you were hunting the airdrop and you got a hefty airdrop, I hope you made a ton of money on this. Do I think there's room for a chain like this? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's kind of a DeFi focused EVM layer one chain. I'm sure that it can attract some amount of liquidity. For me, I've been using Mantle. If you watch the channel, you know that in terms of layer two on Ethereum, I enjoy Mantle. It's also DeFi focused. And it's because, yes, I do want to have a EVM chain to have some of my assets on it. But it's a small part of my portfolio. Essentially, it allows me to hold some Ethereum, to be in the DeFi market for Ethereum without having to pay the high gas fees. Now, if you're someone who has a ton of money and you're looking for security and you want to be in DeFi, you're probably better off on Ethereum. But if you want to take some of that money and, have higher risk, but pay less gas fees and search for some big return in DeFi, then yeah, I think there is room for a bunch of these L2s, or as Berachain is an L1 that's EVM identical, but I don't think it's going to be that huge. The reasons they say they're different to me don't really make them any different. With liquid staking now, I really don't get what makes them different. To me, this is all about airdrop farming. And as long as there are opportunities for airdrop hunters to make a lot of money, then these chains will get some sort of traction early on. And then whether or not they can sustain that, that's going to be up to them. So for me, this is not a token I'll be adding. It's not a chain I will be using necessarily now. Who knows? In the future, if that changes, I will let you know. All right, guys, let's move on to what I really wanted to talk to you about today. What altcoins am I eyeing right now? Not only because of the dip that we're seeing here this month, and especially this week, but because of assessing where we're at in the market and a lot of news that has come out recently. Before I do that, guys, do me the favor, smash that like button. And if you enjoy my content, it really does help other people find me. So please take the half a second and smash that like button. Appreciate it. All right, guys, where am I focused right now and why? We all know that Trump is now the president of the United States again, and that he has put a pro-crypto team in place. So we know that is super bullish for crypto, but what does that actually mean in terms of where we should deploy our investment money? Well, this was Steve Jang. He's from Kindred Ventures, and this is one of his predictions for this year that I totally agree with him on.
Firms and houses is that, I think there are a few things that are going to happen in 2025 and then continue through this administration. I think the biggest one will be that securities will be tokenized. That's been a long-standing concept that has had starts and stops. But I think things like stocks, bonds, real estate will actually start to get tokenized as digital assets during this administration.
Exactly. Tokenized. Everything real world is going to be tokenized. I do think that is something that this administration is going to move on. It's a category that big money can go into. It's not like memes or even some of the AI plays that really don't have anything behind them. This is actual utility, real world utility that banks can get in on. Big time investors can get in on this. And we're already seeing that happen. So this is a tweet from earlier today. Trump's World Liberty Financial just bought $470,000 worth of Ondo. Real world assets, altcoin season is coming. Totally agree. So we've got Trump's World Liberty Financial buying a ton of Ondo. I've talked about World Liberty Financial before on the channel. You can actually participate in their pre-sale. So there's still about 1 billion tokens up for grabs right now for their WillFi token. This is really only available to people outside of the US. Although if you are an accredited investor in the US, you can buy some. You do have to KYC for this. I did buy a whole bunch of this. And look, do I really trust Trump, the Trump family? Do I actually think they know that much about crypto? Honestly, I don't. But the reality is, if you're president of the United States or the son of the president of the United States, because in this case, Eric Trump seems to be running most of World Liberty Financial and what they're up to, what they're buying, you just have so many ways that you can pump your bag and you can access liquidity. So from a risk management perspective, although I don't love the team behind it, I just think they're going to have access to knowing exactly where the market's going, to be able to influence the market, to be able to get from wherever they want to get access to all sorts of projects. And we have seen them, in the case of Ondo, they've been buying a ton of crypto lately. So today, Eric Trump tweeted about, he thought it was time to buy Bitcoin. The other day he tweeted about, and he's retweeting other tweets about World Liberty Fi. We see here that they own a ton of ETH, WBC, TRX. So look, they are buying up a ton of crypto that is technically owned by this World Liberty Financial. I don't even know exactly what the hell they're going to be doing with this DeFi platform. It's kind of unusual for a DeFi platform to actually be buying up a bunch of crypto, but I like it. It's going to give this Wolfie token some tangible value. This is actually the treasury and what the treasury is made up of. So real world assets, to me, is the category you want to be looking at. So if we look on CoinMarketCap, let's talk about a few of them, and a few of them that I really like. Chainlink, been talking about Chainlink forever. I do own some Chainlink. To me, it is a very low risk play that is both real world asset and has a bunch of other utility. So I think that's a good one. Mantra, OM. This is a very interesting one. The Mantra DAO, which it was originally. I don't know that I would be saying to buy this one right now because look at this chart. So guys, if you're new to CryptoWise and you're wondering, look, who the hell is this Milton guy? What the hell is CryptoWise? They're just new to crypto and they're just jumping on the bandwagon. Well, I definitely have proof that that's not true because Mantra was one of the very first projects I was talking about on this channel back when it was 7 cents. Yeah, you heard me right. I've been talking about Mantra on this channel since it was 7 cents. I guarantee you I was the very first YouTube channel talking about crypto, talking about Mantra. You want to check that? You just go to our channel, scroll right down to the very beginning of when I launched this channel in 2020. So 4 years ago now, this video right here, top altcoin value pick. So if you only listened to me one time in your life 4 years ago, well, that token is now at almost $6. So anyway, I'm not saying rush off and buy now, but definitely has positioned itself really, really great for this real world asset category and trend. But I have a few other plays to look at. You've got World Liberty Financial buying up some on. So they certainly believe in it, and they're one of the top coins in the category. Surprised they haven't actually pumped a bit more off of the news, but you can see that they did have kind of an initial pump when people heard of it. And over 7 days, you can see that the crypto market crashed a few days ago, as we all know. Well, Ondo has recovered really nicely compared to some of the other tokens that haven't recovered yet. I also don't know that I'd rush into Ondo if you didn't already own it, but I do think it's a good long-term play. Algorand, I actually think, even though Algorand, it's its own layer one, they're heavily tied to people in New York and on Wall Street. So in terms of people who could be players and take advantage of real-world assets being moved on-chain, I can see Algorand being a big player in that. And they are down still over 90% from their old all-time highs. You can see volume is picking up over here with Algorand. So, you know, some insiders know something. A couple of other ones that I really like. Pendle is a good one. A couple of Polkadot ones. Origin Trail, still the 180th token in all of crypto, market cap of under 250 million. And that is their fully diluted market cap. So I do like some of these real world asset plays also because a lot of them started years ago and we're finally going to see the benefits of them, but their whole circulating supply is out there. Origin Trail is one of those. I really like Origin Trail as a play. Another one that I already own is Centrifuge, an even smaller Polkadot real world asset play, market cap of under 100 million. And again, almost the full supply is out there circulating. And Goldfinch. So this is one I've liked for a while. Now, do your own research on these guys. I know Goldfinch went through a bunch of problems. There were a lot of unhappy people in the community. But essentially what they do is offer real world loans, and they create these credit funds with them. So in terms of real world assets being on a blockchain, these guys have been doing this for a while. They're building the expertise. They have huge people in terms of backers, Andreessen Horowitz, Coinbase Ventures. So even if the platform morphs and the existing projects changes, I mean, in terms of these guys are up there. They've just launched Goldfinch Prime. Anyway, I could see this one doing really, really well, and it has not pumped yet. It's still down 83% from its all-time high. And guys, trends are your friend in crypto, right? And we say that for a reason. And tokenized real-world asset markets have returned to all-time high levels, and they've led the recovery this week. So we're seeing a rotation out of the memes, out of the higher risk stuff into more utility. Real world assets is leading the way. So I definitely think this is a category you have to have as part of your portfolio. And in terms of all the Trump news of when are we going to see crypto markets pump again, because we've got this really crypto friendly administration in the States, well, when it does pump, which I am sure it will, I think the category that is going to outperform is going to be real world assets. All right, guys, that's my video for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed it, smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you have not already. I'm Milton. Until next time, over and out.